नमो तस्य भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्स। नमो तस्य भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्स। नमो तस्य भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्स. Today, this is a little interesting topic, that is the suttas on parents and children. What did the Buddha say about the how to repay our parents? Regarding this, we have four suttas from Anuttar Nikaya. First is AN 2.33. I'm going to read from the book. Same-minded is the subtopic. And for those who are referring the book, it is on page number 153. Because there are two persons that cannot easily be repaid. What two? One's mother and father. Even if one should carry about one's mother on one shoulder and one's father on the other, and while doing so, should have a lifespan of 100 years, live for 100 years, and if one should attain to them by anointing them with balms, by massaging, bathing, and rubbing their limbs, and they even void their urine and excrement there, one still would not have done enough for one's parents, nor would one have repaid them. Even if one were to establish one's parents as the supreme lords and rulers over this great earth, abounding in seven treasures, one still would not have done enough for one's parents, nor would one have repaid them. For what reason? Parents are of great help to their children. They bring them up, feed them, and show them the world. So this is how the sutta starts, where the Buddha says, it is not easy to repay two persons in this world. The two persons are the mother and the father. If suppose one were to carry the mother on one shoulder and the father on the other shoulder for about 100 years, and if they would take care of them for another 100 years, if they would take care of them by massaging them, by bathing them, by cleaning their urine and excrement, even if they take care in that way, it is hard to repay. They have not done enough for their parents in that way also. Why it is not enough? Because parents are of great help to their children. Because of our parents as the condition, we have come into this world. If they were not there as a condition, then we would not have been here. Because they bring us up. Because of them, we came up. And they feed us. We get the nutrients, they feed us, we grow through the food they have provided. And they show them the world. Because of our parents, they show us the world. Okay, this is how the world is. And they make us understand how to be in this world initially. And now the sutta goes on like, but because if when one's parents lack faith, one encourages, settles, and establishes them in faith. If when one's parents are immoral, one encourages, settles, and establishes them in virtuous behavior. If when one's parents are miserly, one encourages, settles, and establishes them in generosity. If when one's parents are unwise, one encourages, settles, and establishes them in wisdom. In such a way, one has done enough for one's parents, repaid them, done more than enough for them. So these are the four qualities that the Buddha is pointing here, where if we were to repay to our parents, so these are the four things that we can do to our parents. If they lack faith in this practice, in spirituality, then we establish them in faith. We encourage them, settle and establish them in a faith. And then if one's parents are immoral, one encourages and settles them in more virtuous behavior. Means we are going to like let them know that these are the precepts, this is the virtuous behavior that one need to follow. When one's parents are miserly, and then if they are not kind enough in practicing generosity, then we encourage them, settle and establish them in practicing generosity. Even if one is having very less, in that less also, they can give it a little as well with an open heart. The way of practicing generosity, we can encourage them. If one's parents are unwise, one encourages, settles, and establishes them in wisdom. Here, unwise means, as per the suttas, as per our teachings, it is the understanding of dependent origination, understanding the Four Noble Truths, and understanding the three characteristics of existence. This is the wisdom part is mostly towards the practice. That's pointing out towards the practice. If our parents are willing to practice, we can definitely encourage them, establish them, and settle them down into the practice that we are doing. Definitely, if they are interested, they'll gonna ask us. We can share the instructions. We can guide them and establish them on the wise path towards wisdom. This is the short sutta that is from Book of Twos. And the second sutta is from the Book of Threes, 3.31. It is on the page 227. Sutta name is Brahma. Bhikkhus, those families dwell with Brahma where at home. The mother and father are revered by their children. Those families dwell with the first teachers where at home the mother and father are revered by their children. Those families dwell with the gift-worthy, where at home the mother and father are revered by their children. This reward is respecting parents, mother and father. For those families where parents are respected, then the Brahma stays there. And where the parents are respected by their children, then the first teachers are the parents. And where the family, in a family where children are children respect their mother and father, then those families dwell with the gift worthy. These are the first para, this the introduction, and now the sutta gives the references. What is Brahma and what is the first teacher? What are the gift worthy ones? Brahma Bhikkhus is a designation for mother and father. The Brahma, the lord of Devas, the king of Devas. At our home, when we practice, we treat our parents, mother and father, both equally called as Brahma. First teachers is a designation for mother and father. They are our first teachers. From them we learn how to speak, how to walk, how to talk. Everything, all the perceptions that we have learned is from initially all the perceptions, how to perceive the world, how to learn the colors. All this is we learn from our first teachers and the teacher's mother and father. Gift worthy is a designation for mother and father because they have fed us, they have brought us into the world, they have shown us the world. They are the gift worthy one. For what reason mother and father are helpful to their children? They raise them, nurture them, and show them the world. These are the three reasons we should respect our parents no matter how they are. We should have gratitude towards them. We should pay respect to them. We should always have kindness and take care of them. Then the sutta goes as a verses like poem. Mother and father are called Brahma and also first teachers. They are worthy of gifts from their children, for they have compassion for their offspring. Therefore, a wise person should respect them and show them due honor. Serve them with food and drink, with clothes and beddings, by massaging and bathing them, and by washing their feet. Because of this service to mother and father, the wise praise one in this world, and after death one rejoices in heaven. So here Buddha says in the sutta that when a wise person takes care of their parents by massaging them, bathing them, by offering them foods and drinks, and by providing them clothes, bedding, and washing their feet, when we provide this service, then the wise praise us in this world and even in other world in heavens, they rejoice. This is the second sutta, and the third sutta is AN 4.63. This is similar sutta. Here in the previous sutta which we read, we have three, and here we have four. Bhikkhus, those families dwell with Brahma, where at home the mother and father are revered by their children. Those families dwell with the first teachers, where at home the mother and father are revered by their children. Those families dwell with the first deities, where at home the mother and father are revered by their children. Those families dwell with the gift worthy, where at home the mother and father are revered by their children. So here we can see there are the four conditions. First is the Brahma, then the first teachers, and the third is first deities, and the fourth is gift worthy. So these are the four phrases that the Buddha is using here in this sutta, where he is pointing out each of them as mother and father, the Brahma, the first teachers, the first deities, and the gift worthy one. Brahma Bhikkhus is a designation for mother and father. First teachers is a designation for mother and father. First deities is a designation for mother and father. Gift worthy is a designation for mother and father. And why mother and father are very helpful to their children. They raise them, nurture them, and show them the world. The first almost is the same as the previous sutta. Brahma is the designation for the mother and father. First teachers, because they teach us all the things. They are, and the first teacher has been given the designation to mother and father. The first deities, because we initially learn how to respect everything from them. They are the first deities at home, at a family. And then gift worthy, they are the gift worthy. Why? Because they bring us to this world and they feed us, they nurture us, and they show us the world. And again, there is a poem like stanzas. Mother and father are called Brahma and also first teachers. They are worthy of gifts from their children, for they have compassion for their offspring. Therefore, a wise person should respect them and treat them with honor. One should serve them with food and drink, with clothes and bedding, by massaging and bathing them, and by washing their feet. Because of that service to mother and father, the wise praise one in this world, and after death one rejoices in heaven. When some wise person taking care of their mother and father by serving them food and drink, providing by serving clothes and bedding, by massaging and bathing them, and by washing their feet, then the wise praise that person in this world, and even after death, he will be rejoicing in heaven. Even so, we do all these things, but we are not repaying them. For one who has to repay, that's the first sutta one that we have read. We need to establish them in faith, in virtue, in generosity, and in wisdom. This the four things, and this was the third sutta on parents and children. There's another sutta. This is the last sutta. That is AN 5.39. It's on page number 663 on Bhikkhu Bodhi translation. I think I preferred reading Bhikkhu Sujato's translation for this topic because Bhikkhu Bodhi has used son, but the actual Pali term was Putta Sutta, which means child. I thought of just replacing the word son by a child. Child seems most appropriate for this word Putta. Mendicants, parents see 5 reasons to wish for the birth of a child in the family. What 5? Since we looked after them, they will look after us. They will do their duty for us. The family traditions will last. They will take care of the inheritance. Or else, when we have passed away, they will give an offering on our behalf. Parents see these 5 reasons to wish for the birth of a child in the family. So this is the reason that the Buddha is pointing out why the parents expect a child to be born in their family. And it's the similar way from Bhikkhu Bodhi translation also I'm going to read. Bhikkhus, considering 5 prospects, mother and father, wish for a child to be born in their family. What 5? Having been supported by us, he will support us. or he will do work for us. Our family lineage will be extended. He will manage the inheritance, or else, when we have passed on, he will give an offering on our behalf. Considering these five prospects, mother and father wish for a child to be born in their family. And then there is a poem stanzas. Seeing five reasons, asked you people wish for a child. Since we looked after them, they will look after us. They will do their duties for us. The family traditions will last. They will take care of the inheritance, or else, when we have passed away, they will give an offering on our behalf. Seeing these five reasons, astute people wish for a child, and so true persons grateful and thankful look after their parents, remembering past deeds. They do for their parents as their parents did for them in the past. Following their advice, looking after those who raised them, the family traditions are not lost. Faithful, accomplished in ethics, such a child is praiseworthy. Here the sutta ends. I think this sutta is much clearer, like the words are pretty simple. The five reasons why a family, why mother and father expect a child to be born in their family. Five reasons are they expect like when the child is born, having been supported, like they are taking care of them, they wish to be taken care of them as well. And he's going to work for them when they are not well or when they grow old, and their family lineage will be extended, and he, that child is going to manage the inheritance in future, and when they have passed on, they will going to offer the offerings on their behalf, that the family tradition of offering will also be keep on continuing when they are not there. And when this happens, even the child who has been been taken care of by their parents, the child has also the responsibility of taking care of the parents as well, and then support them as he was supported in the past, and be grateful and thankful for their parents, and take the family's tradition and keep it following to the next word is coming up. And one takes care of the generosity from those families, the donations that they were doing from their family, that keeps on continuing. And the faith, the ethics that the parents taught the children, they grow in them, establish in them, and that child is praiseworthy. I think it's more kind of an action suttas, that in this way all our practice comes into action, how we treat our parents, how we be in our own family, because everything starts at home. The way we behave, the way we are taking the practice into our life, and how we are treating our elders, treating our family members. That's where the practice aspects come, the actual practice where our patience is being tested. And these are the four suttas from the Anguttara Nikaya. And there are so many topics in this. Um, Maybe someday I'll take some other topic from this, wrong speech and right speech. And there is a topic on taints. Maybe that's an interesting topic as well. Maybe some other day I'm going to take taints.
Mrs. Sindhu, I have a question.
Yes.
So how did you find these suttas? Did you go through the index to look for keyword or?
Actually, do you have a hard copy?
Yes.
Can you go to page number 76, 75, 76?
Okay.
Maintaining a harmonious household. In that division, it is the fourth, there is parents and children topic.
Okay, okay.
And there are so
So,
many topics, it's easy to find in this way.
I see. So it could be likely that in the other Nikayas that the topic on parents and children also was discussed. So not only
Yes.
Anguttara Nikaya, I guess. Yeah, I'm just wondering.
And there
Um,
next also there is spiritual friendship, merit, giving and generosity, faith, confidence and reverence. So many interesting topics in this. We can decide another topic as well.
I think the topic on spiritual friendship is also quite useful because I think several times the Buddha did mention like who we associate with um, is quite important because who we associate with really guides the way we think and act and do. So obviously, when we are children, um, the child sees the world through what the parents teach them, right? Up to the point where the child is, let's say, ready to leave the home, let's say. So if it's tricky because we the suttas that we just read, right? Those four suttas that we just read, it's quite clear. It says like the parents are the ones that show the child the world. Parents are the ones that are the first teachers, so on and so forth. So the thing is, if I suppose it has to do with the condition in which the child gets born to a certain parent, right? But if the parent isn't by nature generous or kind, or by nature they don't have that, or it's not in the family tradition. I'm not saying they're bad, I'm just saying that they in that family tradition, maybe the family came from a poor background, so it's very hard for someone who is poor to, I mean, there are instances, of course, but if a family comes from poor background, it's quite hard to ignite the generosity naturally, unless the parents
Yes.
have
I think
friends
so.
that encourage
We
them.
cannot hear you, May.
You can't hear me?
Now we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes it's internet connection.
My
Uh,
internet connection problem, I guess.
yeah. So I'm just kind of wondering, like in those instances, right? Because the child is brought into the world. So unless the child has a good fortune to have generous friends, or because the child is brought up in through the eyes of the parents, so then they won't recognize generosity because the parent had not introduced them the simple act of generosity. So in that sense, it's like how does one come out of it, out of that cycle?
Actually, there can be a condition that you have like explained the through part of it. As a child, when a child starts learning, they see the world only through the perspective of mother and father. And when there is a limited vision from the mother and father, like they learn only a few things, but there are so many other perspectives to the same situation rather than their own parents or their family, whatever they are perceiving the same situation. But when child starts to learn how to perceive and how to decide what is right, what is wrong, or when they start to looking for a spiritual path, when they start trying things for them, then there can be a change that is happening in them. Like they would have tried something, but something might not have worked for them, and then they search for something else. And initially, it would have been like a difficult journey for a child to go through all of that. But when they start going to school, when they start interacting with outer world through friends, through teachers, definitely they will somewhere encounter with the practice of generosity, where people share things like children share chocolates, cakes, any event that's gathering that's happening. They start exchanging information like, okay, this is the way that's going to happen. This is the way we are going to behave. This is the right way. Okay, I used to cry for not getting a chocolate, but now that's no need. And all these things keep on changing. Maybe at some point they'll start learning, like even though it's their own favorite chocolate, they would like to share it with their own best friend, right? There also the friendship part comes into the picture. So as you said, we'll take the uh, spiritual friendship part the next Sunday. Maybe if I'm available, I'll let you know, and just drop the message also. We'll see how this spiritual friendship or any kind of friendship that's going to affect us. Like Buddha says, whole of the path is 100% is the spiritual friendship or friendship wise friendship. And even at the family level, parents used to like, okay, you don't do friendship with that person, they are just bad ones, and you just be with these friends. Even though the parents start to guide them, but the person, child, like they are the one who decides. Even at home they pretend that uh, they are going to be friends with them, but outside they might be something else, we don't know. So it's difficult at the child level because they don't know what's outside, they don't know how the reality of the world is. And when they start learning, like when they get hurt, or when with their own experience, they will start learning.
So, slow learning for the child is attributed to his past karmas. That's why he's born to a certain family, and he doesn't get an opportunity to develop this kind of generosity at a younger age.
Yes, because of our past, present actions, our future birth will be like decided. Who our mother and father going to be? Like in our past, if we would have not done any good, wholesome actions, then we would, if then we would be born into certain kind of family where the family might be poor, or maybe our health conditions might not be right to practice. In that way it can happen. And if in the past, if we would have not given enough, like not given enough, not practiced any kind of generosity, or even had anger triggered, even for a little trigger also we get angry. Depending upon that also, the external beauty or the place that our next birth is going to be, like where we are going to be born, high family, low family, or the practice of generosity, in which kind of family. All this is like preconditioned. The way we are behaving now, it's going to be decided.
Hello, Jay. Just I want to add up to here. Like Delson says in the retreats that like when we leave our body, there is a last consciousness which we call as Patisampada consciousness, which will arise. That will arise based on our all the actions which we have done in the past lives and present lives. Based on that consciousness and the consciousness next, let us say if the birth is in human realm, and the causes and condition is will be matching with the father and mother's causes and condition, then that consciousness will enter into this mother and father in those families which matches the causes and conditions of this his life with the parents. This Delson says regarding this way.
Yeah, I got it.
Yes.
But the only thing is, in this instance, the child will get a very late opportunity to wash away his karmic deeds in the past life and, refine himself and move on forward, isn't it?
I
Truly,
see,
truly.
it's also a condition, right? Depending upon his past condition, he got
Yes.
introduced to like later on in their life to practice. Like I got introduced at the age of like 25 or so, but few people maybe got introduced to the practice maybe earlier, maybe when they were pretty young at the age of 10 or so. There is a difference depending upon our karmic action, all these things.
But every moment you can change, like you can recent talks of Delson also. Delson was saying to get relaxed. Like let us say there is one instance where everyone, like, so let us say we have done some activities in a day, and after accomplishment of that activity we feel relaxed that the activity is completed. Sometimes in similar way we need to cultivate that relaxing in our day-to-day activities. Like relaxing all muscles, just relax and smile. It is possible. Thank you.
And there is a sutta from Majjhima Nikaya, I don't remember the number, but where it says if a person gets angry, and even with a slight triggering, and if they practice generosity, where they get reborn. I just read it once or twice, but I don't remember the number. But if I find, maybe I'll share on the group. You can read that. Anybody else has a question or just a topic for discussion? Or share any insight from the week? Okay.
I just have one. I just read it 3 days back. It was a very catching sentence. It says, the guilt is the karmic effect of the choices we made in the past. So why add guilt, more guilt to the guilt already you have by thinking about it?
Thanks.
Can you repeat last sentence, Jay?
So we have a habit of pondering over the guilt, like, oh, if I had done that, it would have been better. So what it says is, why adding more guilt to the guilt
Yes.
you already have? So you
Truly.
stop thinking about it and just keep moving on, be in the present moment.
Truly.
And that's what we do in our practice. Like whenever our mind starts into like just centering into craving and then to the clinging, we just try to bring it back.
Relaxing and yes.
So,
Thank you.
and I just have a quick question, like how many of you like actually practice formal walking meditation other than the retreat setup, but at home walking meditation? Yeah. For how many minutes do you do?
Whenever I walk, all the time.
Okay, nice.
And it is basically an auto suggestion, not that kind of a. I don't know how to express that. I have certain phrases, so I keep repeating the phrases in my mind for that. Like, may I be happy, may I be healthy, um, uh, no, may I be cheerful. I have made 10, 12 phrases. I keep repeating these phrases one after other whenever I walk, so that it always sinks into the body. So again, this is I told you the book which I read about the auto suggestion, which says that there are 36 trillion cells in the body, and every cell has got a memory. That means 36 trillion cells, memory cells are there in our body. So to keep it alive, for example, to keep the cell alive, you need 3 life essentials. One is water, air, and food. So air means you are doing a deep breathing or good exercise, that kind of a thing. And you drink heaps of water so that blood flows into all cells and without any unease, and good quality of food. For example, vegetarian food, more fibrous food, fruits, things like that. So when you say these phrases of the auto suggestion, you're saying, may I be happy or healthy, or may everyone in this world be healthy and happy. So this phrases actually sinks. It flows into your each cells, and each of the memory cells then work together as a cohesive manner to make it happen. That's what it says. Exactly, it's the same thing what we do in our meditation.
I
Yeah.
have suggestion, Vijay. Like in walking meditation, like what Vim guide says is like we should radiate loving kindness to spiritual friend while walking. Like it helps to maintain our object of meditation.
As a spiritual
Even
friend,
for
I
beginners,
know.
yes, for beginners. Otherwise, you can just share loving kindness. And sharing of loving kindness is more fruitful than repeating the phrases, which I feel.
Well, when I repeat the phrases, I always noted that with the kind of, for example, you stick to a spiritual friend and walk, then there's a bit of distraction. For me, the phrases keeps me in the present moment. It doesn't get myself distracted. So mentally I recite the phrases very quietly and softly, so that
Okay. Just I want to ask some questions, Jay. Like, how much do you sit for meditation in general?
a morning 15 minutes, and then a night 15 minutes on a weekday. On a
1 5
weekend,
or 5 0?
I 0.
5 0, super, super
And
good.
weekends,
Continue,
weekends
continue.
around an hour plus one and a
Super,
half hour on the weekend.
super good. Continue to do the same.
Yeah.
And I just want to share my experience as well regarding the walking meditation. Previously, I used to do the walking meditation, but somehow in between past month, I was unable to do. There was something happening. But recently, I have started again the walking meditation every day in the morning or maybe in the evening, at least like half an hour, 20, 25 minutes. It's like mandatory walking meditation, special time only dedicated for the walking meditation. And it has so much impact on my practice. Like when you just come back from your walk and sit, or in any time of the day, when you start sitting meditation, your mind, like especially in my practice, I experience that the mind start to tend towards an object of meditation, and it stays there quite a longer time rather than the only sitting meditation that I used to do. And it's just becomes more clearer because whatever things are coming up are already being taken up and zigzagged by walking meditation, and now the mind is like ready to just observe whatever is coming up and just be there, not going into any of things getting pulled here and there. Just relax, just calm, and just on the object of meditation, not observed also. Like, and sometimes while meditating, there is a chance that we can't hold on to that feeling or some kind of factor of jhana. But when we do the walking meditation, we can't get like absorbed into the practice. We have that awareness. Once we, okay, no, we are not going to get into one point and we just come back. And this practice is like helping me to balance it. Now the mind is fully aware, clear, and just relaxed and rested enough, and the practice goes smoothly. And it's more deeper, like half an hour walking and half an hour sitting. Like even if I sit for 1 hour, my mind will not get collected enough in 1 hour. Rather, when I do half an hour walking and half an hour sitting, it has a difference. That's my sharing from my side.
But Sachin, what I said earlier is the auto suggestions. For example, I say when I walk, I'm a peaceful person. I'm patient, calm, tranquil, and relaxed. I'm a cheerful person, or I'm a loving and kind person. I'm always in the center of cheer and goodwill. Those kind of statements, if you keep that, my experience is if you keep repeating this kind of statements, all this whatever you speak, it just goes inside your body, and it start growing up. All these feelings start growing up, and then you sit for a meditation, you'll only have these kind of feelings come up because what you have recited to yourself. It's something like you access a memory, and you access a computer, whatever you have stored in your hard disk. When you open the computer, you can access only that. You can't access something from outside. So if you fill your body, every cell of your body, with this kind of affirmations, loving kindness, or cheerful, or patient, calm, tranquil, whatever. So when you sit, you only these things keep growing up and coming back. That's that it helps me. Maybe I'm doing it in a different way.
Yeah, I think it's like more like a food to the mind, food to the thoughts, what we are thinking and pondering, and our mind inclines to that. And it's like everybody has their own way of practice, and whatever way works for them. And uh, you are like taking it into an aspiration and making affirmations. That's also like you're giving the thought, like perceptions that you're giving. That's a good one. That's okay. And don't like keep on sticking to only one kind of thing, but maybe over a period that can change. No need to like keep repeating the phrases. It will become natural way of your feelings coming up naturally rather than the statements.
Very true. Thank you.
Okay, I think that was a nice discussion today, and that's wholesome way of like uh, getting the practice from everybody's experiences is very much helpful to whoever listens it later on as well, and people who have attained today Zoom. That's helpful because this is where we like actually have the chance to like engage with spiritual companions from the paths who are practicing the same way. Thank you, everyone. And if there are no other questions, no other sharing, we will share the merits. May suffering ones be suffering
differently, and the
stuff
tears struck this be.
leaving shed
May the
all
grieving shed
and
on thee,
beings
and may
find
all beings find relief.
all beings
May
share
all
this
beings share this merit
we have
that
this
we have
wide
acquired for the
acquisition or
acquisition of all
knowledge
kinds of happiness.
beings
May
in a
beings
place
inhabiting space and earth,
in Naga.
Devas and
I
Nagas of mighty power,
in this merit of
share this meta powers. May
protect
they long protect the Buddha's dispensation.
uh,
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you. Thanking you all. Wishing all happiness.
Sadhu, thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu.